Today's update is one of the most important Social Security announcements we've seen in months, and it's something every senior, retiree, disability recipient, and low-income beneficiary needs to fully understand before December arrives. Many people are worried about rising prices, shrinking savings, and tighter budgets, and the idea of a payment increase sounds almost too good to be true. But because of a new federal rule, millions of Americans could see as much as $1,100 added to their December benefit, and the details behind this change are finally becoming clearer. So in this video, we're going to walk through everything step by step, in clear and simple language, so you know exactly what this update means, who may qualify, and what actions you should take to make sure you don't miss out. Let's start with the direct update. The government has confirmed that a new rule connected to Social Security income adjustments could increase December payments for a large group of recipients. This rule focuses on how yearly earnings, cost of living changes, and specific benefit categories are calculated for the end of the year. While many people are used to changes happening in January, this time the adjustment affects December because of the review period that ends before the new year. That means the opportunity to see an increase comes sooner than expected, and many seniors who rely heavily on these monthly checks may finally get a little extra breathing room. Now, before we break down the numbers, it's important to understand why this kind of adjustment can happen. Social Security has several built-in protections designed to prevent people from falling too far behind financially. One of those protections is related to earnings reviews. Another is tied to specific rules for disability recipients and low-income seniors, and another deals with late-year recalculations, when beneficiaries qualify for a higher benefit due to updated income information. These recalculations aren't new, but what's different today is that the government has issued updated guidance on how these reviews should be processed, and that updated guidance is where this potential $1,100 boost comes from. Think of it like this. Social Security benefits are based on a lifetime of work, earnings, and eligibility. But the system continues checking your information even after you retire or begin receiving disability payments. If new information becomes available, such as earnings that were not counted properly, new data that changes how your benefit is calculated, or a correction in your payment category, the government can adjust your benefit. Sometimes those adjustments are small, but when multiple factors line up in the same year, the increase can be much larger. That's why many people are calling this a Social Security bombshell, because this particular combination of rule adjustments doesn't happen every year. So, let's go through the most important part of this update. Who could potentially receive the extra money in December? According to the most recent guidance, several categories of beneficiaries may be eligible. First are retirees who had new earnings added to their work record. This applies to people who retired but continued to work part-time, or who had wages posted late by an employer. These earnings can increase the official record that Social Security uses to calculate monthly benefits. Next are individuals receiving disability benefits who experienced a change in their payment status during the year. This includes people who moved from one type of benefit to another, such as shifting from disability benefits to full retirement benefits at age 67. When this transition occurs, the system recalculates the benefit amount. And finally, a group of low-income seniors who receive supplemental benefits may see an increase if their state or federal eligibility category changed during the year. When that happens, the December payment can include additional money that was not issued earlier in the year. All of these scenarios are part of the new rule, which simply instructs the Social Security Administration to process these adjustments in December instead of delaying them to January or February of the following year. This shift in timing is what makes the December payment higher than usual. And in some cases, when the recalculation covers several months of unadjusted payments, the total added amount can be as high as $1,100. Not everyone will receive this full amount, of course. The exact number depends on your personal earnings record, benefit type, and eligibility category. But even smaller increases, such as $200 or $300, can make a meaningful difference for seniors who are struggling to keep up with monthly expenses. Now, you may be wondering why this adjustment is happening now. The answer has to do with the challenges many seniors have been facing due to rising prices. Food, rent, utilities, and medical expenses have all gone up in the last year. Many older adults have reached a point where even simple monthly routines, like buying groceries, filling prescriptions, or paying utility bills, have become stressful. Because of these pressures, federal agencies have been reviewing existing rules to see where they can provide relief without creating entirely new benefit programs. And this is one area where adjustments could be made quickly, since the rule governs how existing benefits are processed. That means no new legislation is needed. Instead, it's an administrative update that helps ensure people are receiving the correct amounts. Understanding how this works is extremely important for anyone receiving Social Security. Many people don't realize that their benefit amount can continue to be updated even years after retiring. They assume that once they start receiving their check, the amount stays fixed except for the yearly cost of living adjustment. But that isn't always the case. If your earnings record changes or if you move into a new benefit category, the government can increase your monthly benefit. This is one reason it's important to review your benefit statement regularly and make sure all your information is correct. A missing year of earnings, an incorrect benefit status, or an outdated category can cost you money, and this new rule gives you a chance to receive that money sooner. Let's take a closer look at how these earnings reviews work. Every year, Social Security checks for new wage information. Employers report wages, but sometimes the reports arrive late or contain mistakes. When that happens, your official earnings record may be incomplete. Since your benefit amount is based on the highest earning years in your lifetime, missing or incorrect earnings can reduce your monthly benefit. When the system finds the updated earnings later, it automatically recalculates your benefit. If this recalculation increases your monthly payment, the Social Security Administration will also issue a lump sum payment covering the additional amount you should have received earlier in the year. This lump sum payment is one of the sources of the December increase. To understand why this change matters, imagine a senior whose rent increased earlier in the year and who notified their local SSI office, but the recalculation was delayed. Or imagine someone whose medical expenses increased, affecting their eligibility category, but the processing took longer than usual. With this update, those delays no longer push the increase into the new year. Instead, the adjustment is included in the December payment, helping seniors manage end-of-year costs like heating bills, food, holiday expenses, and overdue medical needs. In a time where financial uncertainty has grown for many older adults, this shift provides much-needed relief. This brings us to another important topic: how the December payment will appear. Some beneficiaries will see the increase directly in their monthly payment. Others may receive a separate deposit categorized as a lump sum adjustment. The amount varies, but the key idea is that the government wants these increases delivered before the year ends, instead of being delayed into January or even February. For many seniors, this timing makes a big difference. December is one of the most financially challenging months of the year. Cold weather often means higher heating costs. Holiday season activities lead to extra spending, and medical appointments often rise as people try to resolve issues before new insurance deductibles reset in January. Even a few $100s extra can make the difference between comfort and stress, and the possibility of receiving up to $1,100 can be life-changing for many households. Let's continue exploring how the recalculation actually works so viewers can understand exactly what is happening behind the scenes. Each Social Security beneficiary has what's called a benefit record. This record includes your highest earning years, your retirement age, your benefit category, and any updates processed during the year. When a recalculation occurs, the government compares the updated information with what was used to calculate your benefit originally. If the new information results in a higher benefit, the system automatically increases the amount. But because this update is taking place late in the year, the new rule requires the payment to reflect the higher amount immediately in December. If the recalculation covers earlier months where you should have received the higher amount but did not, the system issues a back payment. That back payment is added along with the updated December benefit. This is how the total increase can reach $1,100 or more for certain beneficiaries. It's also important to talk about the role of cost of living adjustments. While the annual adjustment will still take effect in January, this additional December increase is separate from the cost of living raise. In other words, the December increase does not replace the January increase. Instead, it acts as an extra update before the new year begins. Seniors will still see the cost of living adjustment added to their benefits when January arrives. That means those who qualify for the December increase will receive two separate boosts within a very short period of time. This can help offset the effects of rising prices and give families a stronger start to the new year. Another question many people have is whether they need to apply to receive this increase. The good news is that most beneficiaries do not need to take any action. If your record qualifies for a recalculation, the system will process it automatically. However, seniors should still make sure their personal information is correct. If you moved, changed bank accounts, or updated your income earlier in the year, it's important to confirm that your information was successfully updated. Incorrect details can delay your payment or cause your recalculation to be incomplete. And if you believe your earnings from past years were not fully counted, it may be helpful to review your Social Security statement. Even though the rule requires automatic updates, it's always wise to ensure your information is accurate. Now, let's discuss how this rule affects people who retired recently. If you retired within the last 1 to 3 years, there is a stronger chance your earnings record may not yet be fully processed. Employers can take several months to report complete wage information, especially for people who worked during the final months before retirement. If those wages were higher than expected, they could increase your benefit. Under the old process, these updates sometimes didn't show up until the next year. Under the new rule, the increase will be added in December. This allows new retirees to receive the correct amount much sooner and prevents their first year of retirement from being financially weaker than it should be. People who recently reached full retirement age also benefit. If you were receiving a reduced early benefit and then switched to full retirement status this year, your payment is recalculated. This recalculation often increases your benefit. In the past, some seniors waited months for the adjustment to appear. Now, it is processed in December, giving retirees immediate access to the higher amount they are entitled to. Let's also consider seniors receiving disability benefits. If you were reviewed this year and your disability status changed to a full or partial category with a higher payment, the new rule ensures that your updated benefit appears before the end of the year. Many disability recipients depend heavily on every dollar they receive, and this adjustment can ease pressure when medical costs or basic living expenses increase. All of these groups share one thing: they deserve clarity, fairness, and timely support, and that is exactly what this update aims to provide. It ensures that seniors do not wait months longer than necessary to receive their correct payment amount. It ensures that end-of-year recalculations are not pushed aside or delayed until the next year, and it provides a meaningful financial boost at a time when many older adults feel the pressure of rising costs. As we move toward the end of the year, it's important for every beneficiary to stay informed. Review your statements. Keep track of any changes in your benefit category. Be aware of the timing of your payments. And if something does not look correct, reach out to your local Social Security office for clarification. This December increase is automatic, but staying informed ensures you never miss an opportunity to receive the full amount you deserve. In closing, today's Social Security update is more than just numbers on a page. It represents a much-needed shift toward faster, more accurate benefit payments for seniors. The potential addition of $1,100 comes at a moment when many households are struggling, and the relief it provides can make a real difference in daily life. Whether it helps cover bills, purchase medicine, buy groceries, or simply reduce stress, the impact is real and meaningful. And as more seniors learn about this change, they can move into the new year with a little more confidence and a little more financial security. Thank you for taking the time to understand this important update. Staying informed is one of the most powerful tools you have, especially when it comes to your benefits. Remember what you learned today. Keep your information up to date, and never hesitate to advocate for the support you deserve. Your benefits are your right, and updates like these are meant to protect you. Stay well, stay informed, and we'll continue bringing you the latest information that matters most to older adults across the country.